Shalom. Wow. Me and Leah. Okay. Just take a minute to arrive, to connect, to connect each other. This is especially after all we've been through in the last couple of weeks. I don't mean to be saying in a negative way, but it's not a given that we're here, we're in good health, we're alive. So just take a second to feel yourself here, to feel yourself on your chair, to feel your feet. Sometimes we get into Torah learning and we're very in our mental body and we forget that we also have a physical body and we also have breath. And we take up space and we even have an auric field, right? Daled Amos, so approximately 6 feet out from us. We're also radiating energy. 6 feet out from us, right? Daled Amos, we call it, or cubits. And since most of us don't know what a cubit is, this is a cubit. Except it's cubit.
Oh, it's a horse.
Oh, no, this is an amma. This is an amma, and this is a tefach, and this is an amma. So 4 of these out from you extends. That's right. So it's
4 cubits. 4
cubits out from you.
All around.
Settle. Okay, is your energetic field. Okay. May I ask you? You can ask me. Doesn't mean I'll be able to do it. You can sit next to me, and then you're going to be on the Zoom. Does that bother you? No. Okay. So the series is we took a deep dive into Korah last week, and part of the reason that we did that is because it's so aligned, right, with what we're doing.
I'm so sorry.
But the topic of the class is inner intimacy, right? There's inner intimacy. So let's begin with just feeling your feet on the floor. And if you like, you can put a hand on your right hand on your heart, put a hand on your belly. And you can just whisper to yourself, right? I am here. Sometimes we forget that. Right? Another way of saying that is Hineni. And here I am alive. I am breathing. You may be amazed at how often we forget that. So we're going to take 3 deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. If you like, you can do sound or sigh. You don't have to keep it up beat all your own. So just the next breath, just notice that as you take in this breath, imagine like a golden thread connecting from inside of you to the Or Ein Sof, to the infinite energy field, to the infinite source of all life, and that you have. Sorry, darling, I'm going to ask you just to not speak out. Just don't say it out loud because what's the word? Infinite? No. Energy? No. And so, yes. Okay. Just to pull people out of energy. You okay. I love you. Just want everybody to be able to go inside, out. I'll invite you to feel into the earth. And again, we may or may not still need this meditation. As I was preparing it, we were in the middle of the work. This is a good meditation to take with you. Even in terror, the earth holds me. I am still. Even in terror, the earth holds me. I am still held. To see what that feels like. Feel your seat and your feet and your bones. And let Hashem, through Malchut, which is the earth energy, take some of the fear from your body right now. See if you can give over some of the tension, some of the worriedness about maybe the chayalim or the hostages, right? Or your own family. Maybe some of you have soldiers in your family. And see if you can allow Hashem to hold that for you so you don't have to hold it. Because Hashem is the Ein Sof. Hashem has infinite holding capacity. And sometimes we can speak directly to fear. We can say, fear, fear, I hear you. You're trying to protect me. Thank you. And this actually gives your fear a witness that it's actually also sent to you by Hashem. Even our fear is not our enemy. Even our fear is from Hashem. Fear doesn't want to be cast out either. It also wants love. Every part of consciousness wants love. If we would really learn that secret, we may actually be able to rid the world of. Every part of consciousness wants witnessing and compassion. What about you? Call me for an appointment. Serious. Yeah. So sometimes we have protectors that numb us. That's also another help from Hashem. We have parts that take us out of overfeeling because it's not sustainable. So they numb us or they dissociate us. That's also from Hashem. Also think that part of you that doesn't feel fear right now. It's protecting you. Ribbono Shel Olam, please spread your wings over me. By the way, I just have to show you that I was very intentional in my shirt.
Oh.
For those of you on Zoom, has wings on it. Ribbono Shel Olam, master of the world. It means master of all reality, creator of all that ever was and is and will be. Please spread your wings over me. I place my soul in your hands. Please send your angels to surround me. Please shield me in your peace. We did a little piece last week about some protective measures for bringing the energies of peace around your body, and in your spaces in your home. And one of the ones we didn't talk about, but I've been using this almost every second, is to imagine yourself inside a luminous Magen David, any color that comes to you. And I'm noticing that my colors are changing. Some days it's turquoise, and some days it's golden, and some days it's green. And so that's just saying also things that are happening in my energy field. If we'll never have sirens again, but when or if there's sirens again, my teacher shared with me, you can imagine an iron dome, meaning all of Eretz Yisrael being protected inside of again. luminous, vibrating again. Okay. One other one we did not do last week, which is again a constant meditation that Holy Masters left for us. Shiviti Yud He Vav He Le Negdi Tami. I place Yud He Vav He before me always, remembering that Yud He Vav He is the vibration, is the frequency of divine compassion, of rachamim. Mhm. That's what No, I'm just actually, yeah, thank you. I wanted to take a second just to kind of meditate on it. I don't know what I'm going to say. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think English is still translated as I was before.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
even though the negative is.
Yeah. I place the divine before me always. In other words, no matter what is ever happening, I'm only ever relationshiping with myself and Hashem. No matter what is happening ever in the outer circumstances, I'm only ever relationshiping with myself. We're going to do a piece from Reva Emuna, one of the most beautiful pieces of Torah I've literally ever learned in my entire life. I hope it's going to touch you as deeply as it touched me. I hope it will be as deep medicine as for me. And then at the end, we'll do a meditation. Please God. Please God, we'll be able to do it at the time I think we will. But I wanted to bring in something from yesterday was Gimel Tammuz, the Hilula, the wedding ceremony. That's what they call it in Shemayim, the divine wedding ceremony. When a holy master passes, it's considered a day of enormous celebration. And yesterday was the Hilula of the Lubavitcher Rebbe, of Rabbi Menachem Mendel, Ben Chana, and Levi Yitzchak. I get a lump in my throat saying his name. I just get a lump in my throat when I say his name because he was such a force of goodness and kindness in the world. Such a force of compassion in the world. And there was two takeaways that changed my life. My whole nervous system from the war was like, not just my nervous system, my whole tree of life. It was definitely walking through the valleys of the shadow of death, all of us, right? And I started to kind of dissolve into this, like, why am I even here? Why am I alive? Why does Hashem need me? What's blah, 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 right? And I was listening to this beautiful sikha on Gimel Tammuz, and the Rebbe just brought me back to my mental, spiritual, emotional, physical health. And he just said, each one of us, especially as Yidden, every human being, but especially as Yidden, we are, this is what the Rebbe said, we are each an ambassador for Hashem's goodness and light in the world. Hashem's goodness and light in the world. And then that just was like a chiropractic adjustment. I don't have to worry about the details or what I'm doing, who I'm doing, what I'm working with, who. Yet that's just what I'm doing in every minute. That's just what I am. It's just what I am. Even if I sit next to someone and I don't say a word, shiviti, I have the awareness and consciousness. I am a vessel for spreading and radiating the Creator's goodness and loving kindness into the world. So I could be doing nothing. And in fact, as we get closer and closer to Geula, we're going to shed the doing. This is part of what AI is coming in for, right? For real. We're going to shed the busy doing, and we're going to become more being and being and being. And what are we being? We're being the vessel radiating divine light, creative light, love, harmony, peace. So that you just pass by. Sometimes it's like, why am I here? What are we doing in this world? I often now pass by people on the street and I just have the kavanah to radiate God's compassion out to them. And it's real because we're beings of light, we're beings of energy. You can change somebody just by walking past them and having the intention to radiate out to them Hashem's loving compassion.
Do you smile when you pass the Jew?
Sometimes I don't smile if it's a man, for example, but I still might radiate out to him. Hashem loves you. Have a blessed day. And it seems so small, and I actually think it's bigger than many things that we know. We have no idea. A beautiful client of mine, she changed my life 2 weeks ago, and I wrote it down. And this has been my constant meditation. And she said, if we really knew somebody else's pain, we could never judge. And so when I feel like, oh, someone's attacking me, or they don't like me, or they didn't invite me, or whatever triggers my own exiled wounds, and then I start thinking, if I really knew their pain, I'm making up a story in my head because of my wound, And if I really knew a fraction of what they were holding, I could only have compassion. Again, it doesn't mean I don't have boundaries in this world. I have to hold, it's a ladder. It's Yaakov's ladder. Down here, I might have to, limit my interactions with them if they don't feel safe and balanced. But up here, I'm like, right, wow. I have no idea what they're holding.
I have to share one time I was in a New York City subway. You know what New York City subway is, like the dark, grungy, physical, like icky. And whatever, I was saying about the people, it was like in a place that there was like, not a lot of like white people, and it was like really like grungy. And all of a sudden, in the front of the eye, this hussy came down the stairs and got into the subway. Okay, that's all he did. But it was like a light that came down. You know what I mean? Like he was so distinctly different, and he had like a light about him, like just in the being. That's what I was trying to say. He was doing anything. He just got into the subway train, but it was like he was such an ambassador. I totally saw it. It was just so whatever. It was so distinctly different in every way. But I could feel it. I wasn't just one person getting out of the train. It was like, I don't know. It was just one of those moments that I still remember in my mind because I could feel that he looked and felt everything about it so distinctly, everything else that's going on and stuff. Just like a living time. So we are such a mess.
So I would like to deepen what you said. So the word for ambassador, we might use it as a shaliach, right? But the word for ambassador in Ivrit is El. El, El. To, going towards, directing an energy. So we actually are, ready? We are angels. There's Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, Raphael, Israel. Israel means to be a channel for, ready? Yosher.
Is that our whole
I love that. It always says that. Yosher. And also, in other words, aligned living. Aligned living.
Can I just bring in what we talked about? So it's Yaakov is sending Yosef to go check on his brothers, and he's going towards Shem. And when Yosef is there, he doesn't see his brothers, and he wanders in a field because they're shepherds. So he's trying to find them in a field, and he comes upon a man. It says Ish, but the commentaries say, who is this Ish? He's a Malach, and he's Gabriel, and he's an ambassador.
And then all the unfortunate spend the whole time trying to figure out, did Yosef know that he was a malach, or did Yosef not know that he was a malach?
Well, here's a hint. Here's a hint. Every yid is a malach. That's what it's trying to say. This is what the Rebbe was telling us. Every Yid is an ambassador, a malach in this world, a shaliach, a channel, a messenger, and for spreading Hashem's goodness and light. Okay, so I want to take you into this piece from my book. So the title of this book is Yesh Lecha Kanfei Ruach. You have wings of spirit, and it's a collection of teachings from Harav Abraham Yitzhak Cohen Cook, specifically on the topic Al Imun Ha'adam Be'atzmo U'Bechayav, on believing in yourself and in your life. There's a very famous story. There's many famous stories like this, but there's a very, very famous story from Rabbi Nachman to his Talmid Muvhak, his number one disciple, Reb Nassan. And I'm not going to tell you the whole story. I'm just going to give you the punchline of the story. Yeah, sure. And it's Kuf Mangan. Okay. And the bottom line of the story is, because I want to give you every minute of the Torah and then have time to do a meditation. The bottom line of the story is Rabbi Nachman says to Reb Nassan, it's not enough to have Emunah in Hashem. You have to have Emunah in yourself. And this was what the Rebbe also would stress a lot. Right? And the second piece that the Rebbe said so much really amazed me, because we had started it with the first of this series, right? And we're gonna say it every single class, because this is what we're starting to heal now. Geula is to remember our true nature. We live in a pretend world with pretend values and as pretend selves. In other words, we have all these identities that we think is us, right? All these roles we wear, all these clothings that we wear, all these different hats that we wear, all these jobs that we do. And we think that's us, but those are our levushim, those are our garments. It's not our essence. So let's say again what our essence is. So the Rebbe would quote Baratanya, God bless you, and he would say, our essence, and this is what we're waking up to. This is Geula. We're waking up from the dream. The dream is this is Reva Emuna, I'm a temporary form, an identity, and I've been many different Revas and Reva Emunas throughout my life, right? But my essence is a chelek Elohai mimal mamish, that I am literally a piece of infinite consciousness. I am literally holding within me the energy, because remember, we're all energy bodies, everything, all we are is light waves and sound waves. And again, we're going to start waking up to this. All we are is vibrating light and sound. That's why we say shh, because it's a call to remember that this thing is just vibrating light. Even this dense physical reality is vibrating light and vibrating sound. And as we make those frequencies more harmonious and peaceful, and on the vibrations affect everybody and everything, and the world starts to come and live for longer periods of times in higher, more beautiful, more harmonious vibrations and frequencies. Every time we say Shema, we are impacting the whole electromagnetic vibrational field of reality.
That's good.
You think? Every time it says that, and by the way, the Yala Rebbe says that the whole war of Gog and Magog is simply a war that no matter what a Yid sees on the outside, no matter what the circumstances look like, he says the whole war in the end will be for a Yid to still say Shema. That it's all one. It's one God. It's one source. It's one light field. It's one source of light. It's one source of sound. Because as it looks dark, we're like, aye, where are you, God? Where are you, God? You're compassionate. What's all this cruelty? What's this raping on October 7th? And Can we just say raping didn't just happen on October 7th? I'm sorry, I know some people don't like my politics, but Arabs are also raped, right? Again, we're one organism. I'm sorry, we can't get away from it. We're one. We're one. The Lord our God, the Lord is one. Reality is one. In this world, we have to fight enemies sometimes. Malasot, because Hashem gives us free choice. And so energies can go rogue. And we have to do things to reharmonize the energy. But we can't forget that the Lord our God, the Lord is one. There's one electromagnetic field, and it's sourced and powered by one creator. And this is the frequency of harmony. Yud and He and Vav and He is the frequency of harmony between all opposites, between physical reality and spiritual reality, between masculine and feminine, between nations, between this world and the next world, which there's no other next world. What we mean by that is states of consciousness, frequencies that we dwell and live in for longer and longer periods of time. We want to dwell in these frequencies. We want to teach the world how to be these frequencies, right? So now this Torah is I hope it's gonna change your lives forever. It's gonna heal you forever.
Can you repeat every time we say Shema?
Every time we say Shema, first of all, we unify all of reality. There are no polarities. This is not a war of good against evil. I know it's hard for you guys to understand this, me too, right? Because we grew up like this, especially in all the Disney movies. The fight against good against bad. There's no fight happening right now of good against evil. Hashem echad, ushmo echad. There is one God with one name, who is the source of all of reality. It's okay, we're learning. We're learning this. This is new for us. That's why it's Geula.
I struggle.
We all do.
When the leaders say clearly, they want to blow Israel off the map, they want to destroy us. Now, okay, that's coming from God also, but then there's free choice, and people choose.
Since you asked, I just want to tell you, if you ask the Ishbitzer, not so much. Not so much free choice. Just saying.
So, my belief is there is free choice, and that we do get to choose between people, and to do mitzvahs without taking mitzvahs. So when you have a nation that says, I want to destroy the Jews, Israel off the map, I struggle with, I understand that all of it's coming from Hashem, but I can't conceptualize that they don't have a choice, that there is not good and evil.
I know. So here's what I'm going to offer you. If this feels important for all of you, let's make this the topic of next week's class, because it deserves a class of its own. Any answer I'm going to give you right now, I don't think it's going to deeply satisfy your soul. Does that feel fair? Mm-hmm. Okay, but this may begin to. Okay, so I want.
It means that God's evil.
No.
No, it sounds like.
Yeah, of course. And the holy masters do ask your beautiful question. Of course. Let's save it for next week, please. Okay. Okay. So I want to say three things. Okay. This is what's happening to us right now. We are remembering and coming home to our true nature. So let's say what our true nature is. Okay. So we're starting to say this now every week. We have a divine soul in us. We call it many things. The Baal Tanya called it a chelek Elohai mimal mamish, an actual portion of the living God, of the Creator. That means infinite consciousness that is inside of us. This is the key. Remember, this is what Korach and his wife's vision was. They knew this. That's why they were saying, Moshe, why are you setting up a hierarchy system? Right? We all have God inside of us. We all have access to God. And remember, we said the answer was yes, we do, but it's a process of learning how to contact that energy and learning how to work with what we call the klipot, or the imbalanced energies that swirl around that inner core, right? We call them the midot, right? All those energies of our impulses and our desires and our fears and our emotions and our thoughts and beliefs and ideas, stories about ourselves and God and the world that we ingested. That's called the Etadat Tov V'Ra. And we started to believe it's true. My mommy didn't smile at me. That means I'm not good. Right? Not that mommy's having a hard day and she's stressed. She didn't smile at me. That means, I understand now. I'm not worthy of it. Okay? We have thousands of these conclusions that we come to, and they're not true. They sure feel true. Okay, so the second thing that we're doing, let's go back to the first. I'm sorry. Okay, so, and let's remember this every class. This energy is inside of us. It cannot be broken or damaged or wounded. Your true self cannot be broken, damaged, traumatized, wounded. That only happens on the levels that we call the outer energies. Outer energies. Inside is solid, stable, harmonious, if you will, vibration that's always in tune, like a beautiful instrument that's always playing in tune. Okay? It can't ever go out of tune. It's in everybody. It's in every. It's in every. It's just under the surface of the parts. In IFS, we call it the parts. In Torah, we call it the midot. Okay, or we call it Zah, Zeranpi, right? Or we call it Chabad, which is the mental. Mental body is not you. It's levushim. It's garments. It's weight energies that allow you to express this essence. But it's not your essence. Your essence is whole, is perfect, is beautiful, can never be anything but that. Your essence is whole, is perfect, is beautiful, is just right, and can never be anything but that because it is the creator. It's perfect, unified love. It's perfect unity. And it's not a unity of one. It's a unity of Yud He Vav He Eloheinu Yud He Vav He Echad. Unity as it's expressed in plurality gets reunified. Again, like an orchestra, right? There's a violinist, there's a cellist, there's a trumpet, there's a, right? But they're playing together. So there's a unified, beautiful composition and piece of music being expressed, but through plurality. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay, so here we go. So the chapter title is Ha'emet Yimtza Ha'adam Rak B'Pnimiyuto. If you're looking for truth, you will only find it inside yourself. Now I know this wakes up hearts.
Say it again.
Ha'emet Yimtza Ha'adam. You will only find it. Rak B'Pnimiyuto, inside yourself. This is what Korach and his wife knew, started to teach, and Moshe said, not yet. Mm-hmm. Here we are. Wow. Okay.
Now they understand what he said. That's what it's 5-year-old.
That's right, but now we're not fine. Now we're not fine.
We were teenagers like you and true.
your show team, made so many mistakes. So now we're more young adults.
Yes. Were you here last week? Okay, because I can't go over. I promise to end on time, and I really need every minute. If there is a recording, but also pull me aside after.
Or just said that we're all home.
We're all home,
Yeah.
and we all have direct. We all have God in us.
Yes.
Okay.
Why is that?
It's because until we learn how to access that, we need guides, we need teachers, we need rebellion, we need guidance from outside of us. And at what point do we cross the bridge? And not needing guidance from outside of us.
Like you said, it's a process.
It's a process, right? Okay. So the other thing that we want to say that's really important is the Holy Masters are all saying the only thing, which is everything, that we're doing in crossing the bridge from Galut to Geulah, is we're clearing away. Please open your hearts now. Now I'm understanding why Rich Shlomo used to always say this. Because really, when you're giving over a truth, that's going to heal your entire consciousness. So you have to open your heart to receive it beyond the level of the words. What we're doing right now, Chevlei Mashiach, is shedding all the stories, ideas, beliefs about ourselves that tell us that we are not worthy of receiving Hashem, that we are not worthy of receiving Hashem's goodness and love and kindness and presence and forgiveness. And that the process begins by Hashem asks us to be an ambassador first and foremost to ourself and offer ourself kindness, presence, forgiveness, listening, understanding. And that's how the Geula process starts, from the inside out. And this is Hillel's famous teaching, in Einan Mili. If I can't offer myself kindness, then how can I accept kindness from anything outside of myself? If I can't offer myself presence, how can I be present to another?
That's what Cook's quote.
Yes. Okay, so let me give you this in the text, okay? This is really, really like Geula did. Okay, so again, find within yourself. And again, because sometimes we'll say, oh, Hashem, I davened for this or this Yeshua for so many years, and you never heard me, and you never answered me, and you never gave it to me. And all the holy masters come and say, that's an illusion, because the fixing only ever happens on the side of the vessel, meaning our ability to receive. We might say we want a soulmate or love, and we may have other parts inside, deep subconscious parts, that tell us that we're not worthy of it. We don't deserve this love and kindness. So we want it, and also deep parts feel empty. So the holy masters come and say, the fixing is never on Hashem's side. Again, imagine a garden hose hooked up to the faucet, the water is on, beautiful living waters are flowing. If there's a kink in the hose, you can't get a drink, but it's not coming from the source. It's coming from the kink in the hose. You understand? So it's what we're doing now. This is what Korachim is right. We're a little bit preemptive that we're fixing the vessels now to receive Hashem, to receive Hashem's infinite goodness. But if there's places in us that feel unforgivable, unworthy, unlovable, right? They have to be realigned. And Rav Kook says, begin by offering yourself every day presence, acceptance, listening. This is what we do in IFS with our parts, right? We say no bad parts. We don't judge them. We listen. And we help them to shed the false stories so they're free to take on a new role. Okay, so let's do the text. Ready? So here we go. So it's Daf Kuf Mem Gimel. I'm sorry, it's so tiny. Yeah, I think it's good. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Ready? Please take this. Ein ha'adam koneh shum ma'ala ki im mi tochioto. A person never receives anything from outside of themselves. I know, this is why it's Geula Torah. Okay. Ein adam koneh shum ma'ala ki im mi tochioto. Me'atzmuto hamahutit hapnimit, from your own inner essence. But we're going to go over it. It's going to take time. This is Geula Torah. Okay. Velo mima shebalo mibachutz, and it's never sourced from outside of you. In other words, you're lonely. You're looking for presence. Presence, presence, like that. Also presence, but presence, right? You cannot receive presence from outside of yourself without finding the presence within inside yourself. You're looking for love. You cannot receive love from outside of you until you understand that love is sourced from within you. Again, going back to the Chelek Elohai Mimal Mamish. God dwells in you as you. God dwells in you as you. Ki hamakdim, ki hamiklim enam molidim et haosher ha'amiti. And Rav Kook says, because any outer circumstances can never give you lasting joy. Because why? They're always going to change. So you had this 1 minute, and then the next circumstances of reality will rise. And it's always going, Ratso V'Sho, rising and falling, light or revealing and concealment. You see Hashem and then peekaboo, right? So if you rely on that, you're always going to feel unstable, because if the source of love is outside of you, that source might leave, that source might go away, or that source might be having a bad day, and then where's your love, right? Or your stability or your peace. If it's outside of you, that means it's not yours. And it's always subject to change, and it's always in flux. And so your own inner core will always feel destabilized because you're dependent. And this is the fixing of, because after we ate from the Eitz Hadat Tov Ra, it says about the feminine, in itzvunech, in nervous agitation and sadness, you will conceive your children, gestate your children, and birth your children. That's the first. By the way, the Torah never uses the word klala. That's our word, curse. It's a response and reaction, okay? And to a whole system of energy imbalance, and then we're going to learn how to rebalance it, okay? And the second piece is, so who wants that? Who wants to conceive, gestate, and birth children in nervous agitation, sadness? No, because then it passes to the next generation, right? We call it generational trauma, right? And the second piece is, utshukatech elav, your yearning and longing will be for your husband's love and presence. That's right. And this yearning, it has two meanings. Either he literally will dominate you, right? He will have power over you. But why does he have power over you? Because you believe that the source of your worthiness and your value and your preciousness is from him.
So the tikkun, the work that we have to do is start from here.
Exactly. It's exactly right. It's exactly right.
We have to change
And
that
this is
around.
what the holy masters call the rise of the feminine, right? Being able to directly source from the Or Ein Sof, directly source from the Or Ein Sof. And here it gets even better. Not the Or Ein Sof outside of you, not hi Hashem up there far away. Lo b'shamayim ki karov elecha hadavar me'od me'od. It's closer than your breath. Beficha u'bilvavecha ki karov hadavar elecha me'od me'od. It's so close. It's so close. The illusion is that it's so far away. And how do I get there? And how do I break the veils? Ki karov elecha hadavar me'od me'od. And this is what we mean when the Holy Masters say the fixing of the feminine, the fixing of the vessels. It was never outside of you. Your worth, your value, your beauty, it was never outside of you. But we don't believe that's true. And I had this insight in meditation a few weeks ago. I almost fainted. I realized I've spent almost my entire life looking outside of me for the man to love me so I could know I'm loved. And I remember being 6 years old in the playground and looking at the boys and being like, if he would like me, then I would be cute with my pigtails. I've literally spent my entire life outsourcing my worth and my value. Love is far away from me. Love is something I have to perform for. Of course, it's called galus.
We're taught that.
It's called galus.
Starting with like
It's
exactly.
right. That's why we use the lesson of galus, is to be exiled from our own true self, from our own true nature, and forgetting who we are. And then we become performative. And love is something that you earn. And love is something that you shut down your true self, and you like, oh, if I want to be loved, I have to be like this. And I remember like in 8th grade, like begging my mom for corkies, because if you didn't have corkies, you're not cool. And if you're not cool, you don't fit in. And if you don't fit in, you don't belong. And then you don't have a place in the world. It all goes down to corkies. Platform shoes.
Oh, what?
70s, man. Okay, right? Okay, here we go. אבל הלא התורה והמצוות הן עצמיות האושר, והם באים לאדם מחוצה לו. 1 second. Isn't Torah and mitzvahs a system outside of me? And aren't I told that this is the path to God? Good question, right? Good question, right? The book says, Hamnam, kasher nitbonen, says, yes, it looks like Torah and mitzvahs is a system outside of you. And if you follow that system, then you get to have a relationship with God and yourself and communities. It looks like that. But if you contemplate and you meditate, shekol echad masig mehatorah vehamitzvot rak ma shetzafun b'pnimiuto. Should I say that again? אמנם כאשר נתבונן נמצא שכל אחד משיג מהתורה והמצוות רק מה שצפון בפנימיותו. You can only receive from Torah and mitzvahs what is already inside of you. It's resonance. I know, I understand. I'm looking at the faces like, okay, I'm going to keep going. Guys, breathing.
I still think I understand.
I know. Give me 1 second, because I promised I would. Oh my God. Okay. But I'm going to do my best. It says, and further, when we look at the totality of this entire system, it is the human being who contains within them all of reality. I know these are new. This is Torah. This is. In other words, if you are a chelek Elohai mimal mamish, if you are infinite, a container for infinite God, for God's infinite presence and light. And God is all that ever was, is, and will be, Havaya. That's another name for reality. Then you are a container for reality. And contained within you is all that Hashem ever was, is, and will be, made, is making, and will make inside of you. I understand these are new concepts. Let me just finish the piece. And he says, and what are Torah and mitzvahs but the blueprints of reality? And what are Torah and mitzvahs but the blueprints of God's world and God's reality? All realities, all of God's worlds. Klulut henbo, and therefore you contain all of these principles inside of you. You are a living Torah. You are a living Torah. Again, when we're doing the training wheels, we believe it's a system outside of us that we have to learn. But when we cross the Geula bridge, we get to know that the system always dwells inside of us. It was placed inside of us. You have a Chelek Elohai Mimal Mamish in you. You have infinite access to infinite wisdom in you. But there's a way to help dislodge the veils that are covering that. Okay, I have 3 minutes. וכשהוא מתדבק בהם, הרי הוא מתדבק בעצמיותו. And therefore, when you cling to Torah and mitzvahs, you are only clinging to your own inner essence. And therefore, when you cling to Torah and mitzvahs, you are only clinging to your own inner essence. Did I lose you all?
No.
Okay. Okay. וכשבא האדם על ידם להדבקות האלוהית, and when we come through this process to intimacy with Source, הרי הוא בוודאי מוצא את עצמיותו. What will you find there but, come on, Ilana, say it. Yourself. But yourself. I mean, this is a lot of Geula Torah. I got it. Okay. Ki kol atzmiyoto hi rak b'mekor havayato. Because all that you are is only sourced from the source of all reality. You are an expression of the creator of all of reality. You are therefore a container also for the expression of all of reality. Okay, he says, unique expression. Thank you. Yes. Ki kol atzmiyoto hi rak u'makor havayoto be'elohim makor kol hayesh. Because you are, again, an expression of made from the source of all reality, a unique expression made from the source of all reality. Shehinenu nimtzaim be'emet mehamuhutiut ha'amitit rak bo, u'michutz lo hinenu rak kilute ha'mikriut. And he says, so everything you see outside of you is circumstantial. It's changing, it's flux. 1 minute there's more sirens and there's not more sirens. Does that change your essence? Does that define your essence? That you're godly light? No. It comes and it goes. Maybe fear rises and fear falls, but it does not change that your essence is godly consciousness. Your essence is and your role as an ambassador of godly goodness and consciousness and light. Let the outer circumstances come and flow. That's not who you are. Okay, last line. Not even line, 3 words. Nafshi ibiticha balayla afruchi bekirbi ashachaleka. Okay, he's just quoting here and he's saying, my soul is longing through the darkness, right? Through me not knowing and recognizing my own essence, right? And he says, And through the darkness, I begin to understand you dwell in me. You dwell in me as me. Okay. Judy, I don't want to be, I really don't want to be a boundary breaker. So Vanette, I have a 1 minute meditation. It's literally 1 minute. May I?
1 minute meditation?
Yes,
Well,
literally.
1 more minute? Ask me.
I mean, again, if you want to like really push and give two, but it's, yeah, may I?
Go.
Okay. Okay, everybody please close your eyes. This is a beautiful, short meditation called the embodied tree of life. The embodied tree of life. So just feel your feet on the floor. Okay. So there's two ways we can do the meditation. Do it from Keter to Malchut and do it. I think today I'm going to do it from Keter to Malchut. I mean, the journey from consciousness to being a physically embodied woman. Okay, ready? Here we go. Keter, hands over your head. You can whisper, you can say it out loud, sing it. I surrender to divine will. I surrender to the... I love that. Surrender to Chachma, your right hand on your right side of your head. I receive pure wisdom. This is Chachma. Just feel it. Feel it as this is a real thing. Feel the energy, feel the light. Next week, I'll take you in deep to the colors and the vowels and the letters. But right now, just receive it in simplicity. Chachma. I receive pure wisdom. Nina, your left hand, the left side of your head. Ready? And you can put the other hand on your heart because we call it Bina Leva. I understand with compassion. And just notice, and we're going to add one more. I, because this is Bina, I listen and understand with compassion. Beautiful. Okay. Chesed, extend your right arm. I offer loving kindness. You can maybe make eye contact with someone. I offer loving kindness. Extend your left arm. I hold sacred boundaries. You might even make a nice boundary around yourself. I hold sacred boundaries. Teeth eret, your hands over your heart. Put your left hand first. That's the gvurot. That's the tightness, the fear, pain. And the hand of loving kindness, gently holding it like a baby, like a mommy holds a baby. I live in truth and beauty. Truth and beauty. Netzach, feel your right leg. Just extend it out under the table if you like, just don't hit your friend. Right? Feel that energy flowing in. I persevere. I carry on, even in difficult circumstances. I persevere. Yeah. Your left leg, your hood, again, see if you can stretch it, wiggle it, really feel it, and then ground it. Feel it connecting to the earth. Right? I surrender my ego. And I surrender into praise. I accept the circumstances Hashem is sending me. In loving trust. That moment. Can you feel that? How yummy that feels? Okay, last one, the sod. Right, so see if you just kind of rotate your pelvis. Again, if we had more time, we would stand and all that, but we don't. Just rotate your pelvis. Feel that, right? Feel that you have a central axis of light and you have bones that can circle and right around that central axis, right? I unify heaven and earth. I unify masculine and feminine inside of me. Here's the last one. Well, stand tall. Ready? Be in the most receptive mode you can. So your knees are gently bent because they're soft. Your feet are grounded and rooted in Mama Earth, in Mama Shri, in the womb of the earth. Let her hold you. Okay? Any pose or position for you that feels receptive, right? It may be a humble receptive, it may be a dignified receptive, right? It may be a quiet receptive, it may be, can't think of the word, ebullience, right? But you're in receptive pose, ready? I embody divine. I take 3 big breaths through your nose. Bless yourself. Bless yourself. I believe my ability to bask of Hashem's presence, Hashem's goodness. Turn to a friend. Bless your home. It bless you to be an ambassador of Hashem's goodness. Thank you. And Judy, I have to say, I only went 7 minutes over. I'm really proud of myself.
Wow.
Wow, that was beautiful.
I don't know how to stop it. But I feel like we should make it. We have to. Not sure how to do it without running something. Does someone want to shut the Zoom for me? I'm afraid to. Okay. Yes, we're going to be ambassadors of divine goodness. Let's get everyone behind in the
Judy, I don't know if I heard, I don't know. I know. So, you're so